Jane, good to see you here in Davos.
Thank you.
This year, of course, a lot of discussion about where economies is going. For your platform, you're almost like the weather forecast of China's economy. Tell me more about how do you feel the temperature?
Yeah, for travel industry, it's recovering very fast. We have 4 segments. The first one is Chinese people travel within China, and that's recovering very quickly. Not only we recover fully to 2019 level, we exceeded 2019 level by more than 50%, which is wonderful to see. The second piece is bring Chinese people from China to the rest of the world. And we look at both demand side based on our search volume and supply side. The demand side already exceeded 2019 level. However, on the supply side, we still have 2 major hurdles. The first one is the visa restriction. For some regions, the application for the visas are very complex, and it's taking more than 2 to 6 months to apply for. For example, the visa to Schengen region and to America. So we're hoping it's going to be improved very soon. And then the third piece is to welcome the rest of the world to China. And I think Chinese government is doing a wonderful job opening its free visa for 6 countries as the first step, which includes France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, and Malaysia. And this week, we added 2 more countries to the list, which is Switzerland and Ireland. And Singapore and China will have a mutual bilateral free visa, and Thailand will have a bilateral free visa. So we are very positive to attract more and more friends from the rest of the world into China.
3 areas you mentioned. Let's handle them one by one if we can.
Sure.
Domestic travel, as you said, picked up dramatically. And recently we see local governments trying to put out efforts in order to attract tourists go to their localities.
Correct.
In northeast part of China, in Harbin, Shanghai, and earlier we also see Zibo, for example, from Shandong. But tell me whether these are temporary phenomena. What, to you, running a platform like yours, is the sustainable way to be successful?
Yeah, I think the young people are always trying to find a special sparkles during different seasons. So I'm very glad this winter season, Harbin stands out. And it's also a joint effort between government, individuals, community, and online travel platform. So we're very positive, and different seasons will have different highlights. Shanghai, this time there is a movie. Next time maybe it's a concert. So many different seasons will bring different opportunities into the region.
So how much, in a way, this is in the planning process, or actually we're seeing all these phenomena out of great surprise?
True. Harbin always have wonderful ice festival, but this time I think through the joint efforts between the government, community, and online platform of trip.com, we are able to a much better promotion, pre-warming the market.
Harbin, as we know, that's just one of the interesting examples. In northeast part of China, it is being called the old steel district,
Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct.
Used to be a huge manufacturing, which has been out of date, factories closed, and since then, economy has been going uphill, yet not necessarily with ease. Now, it seems that there is a window opportunity.
Absolutely.
But how big is this window?
Yeah.
You know, what they need to do?
I think the northern eastern part have very good opportunity to use travel SME all year round, because in the winter we have ice festival, ski festival. In the winter it's much cooler than the southern part of China, and of course spring and fall are beautiful. So if the government and the community does it in the right way, we will be able to bring consistent volume into the region. So travel should be one of the pillar for the industry over there.
About China's enthusiasm of going to the rest of the world. You hear people around the world saying, please come, the Chinese, please come to our part of the world. And yet, as you said, there are obstacles right over there. Meanwhile, there is a lot of, seems to be misinformation about China, that people are beginning to rethink who the Chinese are. What do you think about these mixed phenomena?
At least from what we can see, the interest from Chinese people to travel abroad is still very strong. So based on the search volume, we can see it's already far exceeded 2019 level.
Where do they want to go?
Yeah, in Europe, France, Switzerland, and Spain are the top 3 travel destinations. In Middle East, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Turkey, Egypt are the top destination. So in Asia, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand are the top destinations.
Fascinating. But how much do you think still needs to be done in order to facilitate their traveling abroad?
I think it's really a test for the government how fast they can grasp these opportunities, because people are ready to go. For example, in GCC countries, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and also Saudi offers either e-visa or free visa. And they double the flight capacity. So we're bringing tens of people over there. Thailand, the Prime Minister went to the airport to welcome Chinese tourists. And they offer free visa for 5 months. So people are going there. Singapore, if you go through the border control, you don't need to talk to any officers. Automatically, the door will open for you. Very smooth. So these countries who sense the opportunity, put investment ahead of the time, now they're harvesting from their investment. I'm very hopeful that now the door is open. People's enthusiasm to go to these countries are very high. I hope it will make the outbound travel really being uplifting.
Your platform reached its very high standard in the middle of globalization, certainly harvested the fruits from that period of time. But now we are in a fractured world, as the World Economic Forum throughout the days have been discussing. So how do you see, as a platform, the travel industry has been evolving as a result of this so far?
Yeah, travel during the past 3 years have been hit very severely. Lots of people lost their jobs, lots of business closed down. So this year is actually the 4th year that's not going to be impacted by pandemic. So we will work very hard with government, with community, with industry leaders to make sure we make a positive contribution by adhere to the high quality of the services we are providing. So we're hopeful.
What about international tourists to China or travelers to China? We see even metropolitan cities in China these days, there are still only limited international visitors or people with foreign passports working in these areas. So many wonder how long it will take and what are some of the basic conditions that people are looking for in order to travel to China, in order to make China, once again, extremely attractive as it has been over the past 4 decades to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think China offers a lot to the world. We need to do a better job promoting traveling in China. So if you look at Thailand, 12% of their GDP are coming from inbound travel. Spain, France, about 7% of the GDP are coming from inbound travel. And United States, 2 to 3% are from inbound travel. For China, in 2019, pre-COVID, 0.5% of the GDP are from inbound travel. So we do have great potential to really grow inbound travel. And it's not only going to bring 2 to 3% of the GDP into the economy, it is also the best format to promote China, to tell a good story about China. Because people in China are very friendly and we have very rich history. We build beautiful infrastructure. High-speed railway is so advanced. We would like people around the world to get to know China through traveling into China.
As you said, in a fractured world, communication is so important. Traveling certainly is one of the best facilitations for that.
True.
But when you are in such a situation, when our world is in such a situation, do you think there can be special services, special categories of traveling, or additional information being given to travelers so that to facilitate them with these kind of communication, as you say.
True, absolutely. If we look at the leaders who are attracting so many inbound customers, we have a lot of improvements we can make. The first one is making visa application easier. So free visa is a good step. Secondly, the payment. China is no longer using credit card or cash. We use WeChat Pay and Alipay, but the foreign visitors don't have that. Third one, we need to make the major traffic hubs bilingual, bicultural. We need to do that. Fourthly, we need to allow more hotels to be able to host foreign friends. So there are many improvements we need to make, but I'm very positive because every improvement will translate into more volume into China.
Trip.com has been a very prominent Chinese global company. Now, once again, we are in a very different circumstances compared to a few years ago. How are you coping with it? What is your identity, Chinese or global?
Travel by itself is global. So particularly during the challenging period, we really need to be engaged with the rest of the world. Travel is the best bridge to be built between China and to the rest of the world. So our mission is, while we are sending people farther away, we are bringing the world closer. So that's our mission. We are very proud and very committed to our mission.
Final question about AI. It is really transforming everything that we are seeing today in the business world. How are you bringing in the new tools, analyze the new possibilities, while at the same time providing new options for customers?
Yeah, AI is very important. We are mainly using it in 4 areas. The first one is to improve user interface. The second one is to improve our productivity because the coding time can be saved. The third one is improve the productivity for content generation. And fourth one is to improve the customer service level.
But at this moment, there seems to be some pitfalls as a result of data and the search possibilities. One of it is the data coming from China, mainly in the Chinese language. So there is a disadvantage, at least for now, compared to English language contents, for example. And therefore, how do you make sure this gap from your platform can be at least somewhat fixed?
Yeah, so the data needs to be really global. Fortunately for hotels, for example, whoever using the hotel is not going to be limited by Chinese customers or foreign customers. It's going to be used by global customers. So there are lots of sharing we can learn from.
Jane, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.